First of all, I want to ask you, being a part of the old school guard in the media, what is it like being a person who has changed the media landscape?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, thank you. I'm just so happy to be here. I think obviously partnering now with SiriusXM is such an honor. Seeing it in person right now is so exciting to be on Radio Row. I've never done something like this. Right. But I mean, I'm just so proud of what Call Her Daddy has done for the podcast game. I acknowledge that when I started, I was kind of like throwing at the wall and being like, I hope this sticks. And it obviously has changed a lot of the game in a great way, but I'm just proud. Like, I work really hard, and I think I'm just really proud of what I've done.
What about some of the guests now that people come to you? They want to be on this podcast, and they feel that it's a necessary stop if they're trying to do press or push out something.
I mean, it's thank God, because I remember back in the day when I was like, hello, can you come on? And I always say, and I credit her, like Miley Cyrus is the one that really gave me like my first big break of a celebrity sitting down and trusting me with the conversation. And then ever since then, it's been nice to not have to, send emails. They call me now, and I'm like, thank you.
What has been that aha moment that you're like, oh, I see you guys on TV, but actually I'm just as powerful as you?
I mean, I just think like every time Call Her Daddy has those big moments, like I really take pride in always staying in the zeitgeist, knowing what's going to move the needle for my audience. And so I'm literally like DMing people, getting them on a plane the next day to get the interview done. Like, I just want to always have that big moment. And I think now people are always like, how does Alex Cooper get people on her show so fast? I take pride in that because I'm online chronically and I'm reading what my audience says. So I think whenever I can get those big moments, it's obviously a big cultural moment because everyone wants to hear from this person, and I just happen to be the one to get them to sit down.
You also don't mind talking about your relationships, and how is that putting your life on, because it's different talking about someone else's relationship and yours.
I mean, that's how I got started, So I think like in a weird way, now when I interview people, if I'm only giving a couple anecdotes about my life, Matt's like, ooh, I'm getting off easy this week. When I do solos, he's like, I'm going to go for a walk and not listen to this week's episode. It depends how detailed I'm getting. But I started with talking about my life and my sex life and my dating life. And I think that's why my audience has stayed, and we've only grown from there because I started being so vulnerable about things that I think a lot of women weren't usually as open about. No. Maybe not that open about, episode 3. But I'm really proud of it.
Okay, with SiriusXM now, how is it when you look at this deal? You're going to have a music channel and you'll have the talk channel. That's a lot of content.
It is a lot. Everyone's like, how are you sleeping? I'm like, I'm not. But I love it. I was just saying to someone recently, like, this is my baby and I don't have a literal child right now. So I feel like moms and dads don't usually sleep when they have a newborn, and this is my newborn, and I'm going to put everything behind it that I can. I think this music channel is going to be so exciting. To be able to curate music 24/7 for my audience is epic. And then on top of that, having these talk channels, I've wanted so passionately to be able to give my audience something daily, and this with SiriusXM is allowing me that. So the Daddy Gang is going to be full.
Okay, explain the Daddy Gang and who's going to be in the Daddy Gang, and how did somebody get in the Daddy Gang?
Yes. Well, first of all, the Daddy Gang is just like, it starts with the OG listeners all the way back from 2018. It's grown, obviously. I think there's like, in a beautiful way, the Daddy Gang has grown to be a lot of young women, older women, men. Anyone's allowed to be in the Daddy Gang, but I think with this new talk channel, I found a lot of these like young new voices on TikTok specifically that I just signed, and they're going to be hosting these the new show is called The Daily Dirty, which is going to be a pop culture show you can listen to every single day on SiriusXM, which is going to be amazing because I love all the gossip. And then we also have a call-in show called Dialed In, where you can call and spill all your secrets and ask for advice. But yeah, Grace O'Malley, her new show Disgraceful is coming out, and it's going to be amazing. I think Grace is such a talent, and I think in moments in social media, I think people forget that we are human beings. And so when you're watching a public breakup or a friendship or whatever it be, I completely understand there's a side of social media where everyone's like, I want the tea and I want the gossip, but this is their real lives. And so I think any help that I could have been to Grace, I just reached out to her and we got on a phone call. And at first it wasn't even about business. I was just like, hey, I've kind of been where you have been right now. So if you want any advice, I know this is a weird moment, but I can literally say I've quite literally gone through this step by step. And it was a great conversation. And then it ended up that Unwell made more sense to be her home. And she's such a talent. She's such a hard worker. and I'm just so excited to see what she does at our company.
It's very hard being a boss and hiring people, like you mentioned. Who's been the greatest hire? Who was the worst, though?
Oh my God. Hi, shout out to you. You know who you are. I'm just kidding. The hires, listen, I think that I've had some, hello, you know who you are. Remember when I fired you 2 years ago? No, I've had to fire, I've had to hire, but we have some really, really amazing people that have been at the company for a really long time, going on like 4 years. And I love my team. Shout out to everyone at home watching this. I don't even know if you're watching this.
How is it also going from Barstool to Spotify and now to SiriusXM? How has that been, that ride?
It's been such a journey. I will be honest, I think starting at Barstool was the best option for me because it really roughed me up and got me prepared for what was to come. I have a great relationship, I think, with Dave at this point where we both mutually respect each other in business. And I used to be his employee and I'm not anymore. So I think now we kind of like go to each other as CEOs of our own companies, and that's a nice dynamic to have. He's not paying my bills anymore. And I feel like I've been just very grateful, though, that each time in my life that I've gotten a new contract, it's been with incredible partners, and each partner has made sense in the moment. Like, I would never take back the decision of Barstool. I had the best experience at Spotify, and now with my new family at SiriusXM, I couldn't be more excited.
What is it like to be really rich now?
No, people do ask me that a lot, and I work so much that I'm like, I'm not going on these crazy fancy vacations. I guess I buy myself a lot of Uggs and sweatpants, but like, I don't know. It's incredible, obviously. Like, it's such a luxury, but I think I'm going to experience the wealth like later in my life. I don't really have a lot of time to experience it right now.
Is it though, you get to the point where you're like, I'm not worried about my bank account. Like, you're not like, oh, I'm golden.
Oh, yeah, I don't check my bank account. I am not checking until my husband comes home and is like, do you know how much you spent on clothes this year? And I'm like, I don't want to know, go away. No, I'm really fortunate, and I think I've been really fortunate to put a lot of my money back into my company, and it's something that I'm super passionate about. Like, hiring has been a journey at Unwell, and I think we have one of the coolest young companies up and coming right now that is a startup, so it takes a lot of time, but it's good hiring, and that's where my money is going.
What is the thing that you love talking about right now? Like, for instance, here, let's talk about this. We're hearing that Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are going to be part of the pregame show. What do you think about that?
Oh my God, I want to see how much they're dyeing their hair. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. I love to see how hard men are going at dyeing their hair, always. What does the hairline look like? We get objectified. I love to objectify them right back.
No, I think that's fair. I do think that's fair. I really do think that's fair.
That's my take on it. I don't know what they're going to be talking about, and I probably won't be listening to what they're saying. I'm just going to stare at their hair.
What happens now when you see Tom and
that is going to be crazy on TikTok.
Right?
Yeah, that'll be great. Clip that one.
Oh, they're going to clip it.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
going to clip it.
Please. Thanks.
Okay, last thing. What is the next big interview you want? Who do you want to get, especially maybe even here at the Super Bowl?
That is a good question. I think Rihanna. I've wanted Rihanna for so long. I met her once in Cannes. Oh, are you a big Rihanna guy?
You two together.
Oh.
It would be crazy fireworks because you would just ping pong back. It would be one of those interviews that is just resonates and is clipped and you see it everywhere.
Yeah, can you call her for me? Send this to her. Send everything you just said, send that to Rihanna. Rihanna, we love you. She would be amazing. I met her once and she was even more lovely in person. She's so charismatic and fun, and I am obsessed with her, and I just think everything she stands for is queen behavior, so I would love to have her on Call Her Daddy.
We're going to set that up. We're going to lock that in. We are going to set you up with her. I'm telling you.
Thank you, Rihanna, we love you.